Professor Toto. It is here where the foundational principles of our great republic are still taught and true patriots are still educated in the hallowed halls of this school of hope. Just like the iconic puppy from The Wizard of Oz, who found great joy in pulling back the curtain on the lies of the wizard, so does Professor Toto. Grab your seats and welcome to the Conservative College. Class begins now.
Everybody, hello. I don't have my bell with me tonight, so I'm going to have to clap. That's as good as I can do to get you guys woke up all over the nation and the world. Good evening. This is your humble, neighborhood, friendly, fluffy professor. Not so fluffy anymore, though. Hello, 38 pounds. And there's the link to find out how I did it. I want to welcome you all to class tonight. This is the Conservative College. It is the last safe place left in the world where you and I can gather into a conclave like this. Your home is like an underground railroad. Tonight, homes all over America are clandestinely listening in to Professor Toto. And so we welcome you to our underground army that is all over this nation. And we met some of those wonderful patriots last night in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. What a great meeting that was. There was a community center there filled with people, beautiful people, God-fearing patriots, and they came, Toto's army, from all over the area, the hills of Pennsylvania, Washington, D.C., all around they came, and it was a wonderful night. I want to thank the Knepper family for hosting us, bringing us to Chambersburg, and man, it was just a great night. And I met some of the most wonderful people. When I tell you that Toto's army has the greatest people on planet Earth, I'm not exaggerating, I'm not opining, I'm not bloviating, I'm telling you the truth. And I met some of those last night, and I'll never forget it. You're in my heart now. I've seen your face, I've hugged your neck, and I'm so thankful that I was able to meet so many of you last night. And we're going to do it all over again on December the 17th. Professor Toto will be on the road in Lee Summit, Missouri. For every one of you that live in that area, within 100 miles, you ought to make it your plan right now to be at this great event at Lee Summit, Missouri. It's being hosted by Miss Angela Schumer, and I think a few of her friends are all putting this event together. We are so looking forward to seeing you there. Professor Toto always teaches for a few minutes in that class, so we want you to come and be with us on December the 17th. So, all right, everybody, as you can tell, I'm not in my studio. The lighting is horrible, and I apologize. But I have been going nonstop. Literally, I have not had time to stop and prepare a show for tonight. And number one, I apologize for that. I've just not been able to stop. So it was either cancel class or at least show up, look stupid, and at least say I showed up. So that's what I'm here to do tonight. I know that so many of you wait for these classes. So many of you told me last night when you hugged my neck with tears in your eyes, saying thank you for being there for us. So I know what these classes mean to you. The reason is all week long, all you hear is the negative. All you hear is what I'm going to show you a little bit of tonight, the horror, and Trump is over, and he's about to go to prison, and this and that. And you hear all this negativity every day on your jobs, every day in your families, among your friends, and you just want to know that there is a lighthouse of hope somewhere out there that can give you not hopium, but true solid hope. So that's why I had to be here tonight and to just greet you and let you know that we're on the winning side and we are going to win in the end. I have to remind you of that every week. Another reason I had to come tonight, even though I flew in that hotel room door literally 5 minutes ago, I haven't even brushed my hair, hadn't done anything to prepare for this show tonight because time was of the essence. But I've got my little wife with me up here in Pennsylvania area. And so I'm trying to spend a little time with her today and tomorrow before we have to go back home. And so I've just been enjoying her. So hopefully you'll understand that. Another reason I had to be here tonight is because Thursday, yes, Professor Toto will not be here Thursday night. Well, I know, I'm so sorry. But I have a good excuse. I'm going to be doing video footage at Gettysburg all day Thursday and tomorrow at Constitution Hall in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So I'm going to be doing footage for some upcoming classes that I'm going to be doing on the American Constitution. And so hopefully you'll understand that I'm not out here just freestyling. I'm literally working, and I'll be working all day Thursday. And then at the end of that day of work, some dear friends of ours that live in the area, an elder in our church, we really wanted to spend a few minutes with them before we get back on an airplane Friday morning. And then I have to preach Friday night and all day Saturday, and then out of town again. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for bearing with me. Well, enough of that. I wanted to make you abreast of what we have going on. So tonight I'm freestyling. Tonight I have nothing prepared, but there are a few things in the news that I do want to address. There's a lot of fear. No, not from our side, but there is an unusual amount of fear happening on the left. And I want to play some of that fear for you real quick. It's really unusual amount of fear because they now admit what you and I have been made fun of for 3 years. That's right. All of us criticized, ridiculed, mocked because we said, when they said Trump was over, when they said that he would never win the primary, much less the general election. And then the next lie was he couldn't win the general election. And then the next lie was, don't worry, he's going to prison anyhow. And we combated all those lies over and over and over. We've never wavered. We've never faltered. Well, it looks like they are starting to get the message. And the way they are opining and the way that they are expressing themselves, there is genuine, legitimate fear. I want you to listen to the level of fear that is beginning to pop up all over Looney Town. Listen.
He acts like someone who doesn't care about our democracy. He acts like someone who wants to be a dictator.
This is a president who's really pushing to really unify power in the executive branch and really go at the kind of checks and balances that have grounded American democracy for a long time. So although it kind of feels like a stale presidential race that might feature Biden versus Trump again, I think that's a mistake. This is a different Donald Trump. This is a radicalized Donald Trump.
A second Trump term takes us on the path to chaos, breakdown of authority, weakening of the presidency, and predation by America's foreign enemies.
We are really at a real cross section of whether we're going to be for democracy or an autocracy or dictatorship.
His very first priority is going to be to bust up the legal system of the United States, because if he doesn't, he probably goes to prison.
I don't even want to imagine a situation where he has won. I think we have to do everything we can to stop him in terms of, again, the kinds of things we've been talking about, working in a very nonpartisan fashion. But I also, Rachel, think about it from the perspective of my kids. You know, I grew up in a country where I didn't have to wonder if we were going to have a peaceful transfer of power in the United States. And all of a sudden it occurred to me, my God, maybe they won't be able to say the same thing. And that is why it's so fundamentally important that we ensure Democrats, independents, Republicans, that we work together, we vote together, we make clear that Donald Trump is not an acceptable alternative. He is not the lesser of two evils. He is a completely unfit man for office. He's already shown us what he would do, and he can never be near the Oval Office again.
It seems crazy to ask this and even crazier to fathom it, but do you believe if Donald Trump were elected next year that he would try to stay in office beyond a second term? That he would never leave office?
There's no question.
You think he would try to stay in power forever?
Absolutely. I mean, he's already done it once.
People need to begin to think seriously, how do we stop this? How do we prevent him from winning? How do we communicate the danger to the American people?
We're going to be successful at making sure that he's not elected president again.
It is just unquestionable at this point that that man cannot see public office again. He is not only unfit, he is destructive to our democracy, and he has to be eliminated.
He has to be eliminated. And then Liz Cheney said, "We're going to make sure that he never runs again." What do you mean by that, Liz? What do you mean, sir, by eliminated? What really are those demons speaking through your mouth? What are you truly saying? All I hear is fear, 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 fear. And those fears are fed, like all fear, by lies. Did you hear Liz Cheney, what she said? The moderator asked her, or the interviewer asked her, do you believe Donald Trump will never leave the White House again if he's elected again? And Liz Cheney said something interesting. She said, there's no doubt. Absolutely. He will never leave if he gets power. And then she said, he's done it once before. I'm sorry? When? When was that? Liz, when did Donald Trump ever not leave the White House on January the 20th? When did that helicopter not take off and he was sitting right there in his helicopter? When did he refuse to leave the White House before? That's a lie. Folks, you have to hear these lies and know they're lies, or you will believe those lies. Donald Trump never tried to stay in the White House. Donald Trump did try to do what is the right of every elected official to verify election results and to make sure they were legal and by the Constitution and according to the state legislators. Absolutely. But he never tried to hold on to power or the White House. The minute the ding, ding bell rang, he's walking out to Air Force One. So, I'm sorry, not Air Force One, Marine Force One. And so that's lies. Your job in this hour is going to be able to discern the truth from the lies. And that is not an easy task, I promise you, but you must know the truth. And that way, when you hear a lie, like we just heard, then you're not caught off guard. So if you want to know why they are afraid, they are beginning to see the handwriting on the wall. They are finally beginning to say what Professor Toto and what you have been saying for a long time. As a matter of fact, if you will pardon me, if you will allow me the privilege of just singing a little song that goes like this. I told you so. Oh, I told you so. What am I talking about? Do you remember over the past few months, I've told you that by the time 2024 gets here, and it's nearly here, that even the Democrats would beg for Donald Trump? Does anybody remember that? Anybody? So I don't want to be blowing smoke if I didn't say it, but if you remember me say it, shout hallelujah or amen or whatever. There you go. Thank you. I can hear you. Thank you very much. Well, I'd like to show you the evidence of that.
thing in closing that we have in common is neither of us will be the nominee for our party in 2024.
The data is the data. Nobody was trying to kill us when Trump was president in a way that they're not now. If anything, there's more hostility, and you can have reasons for that any way you want. I'm just saying, existentially, I'm not afraid of a Trump presidency.
The Bronx is the bluest of New York City's boroughs and the only borough with a Hispanic majority. President Biden got 83% of the vote here in 2020. But now the Biden campaign is seeing polls coming out saying President Trump is gaining traction with voters of color. You think that President Biden is doing a good job with the economy?
No, he's not doing nothing.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Was he doing a good job? Yes or no?
No. I can see we're all going to be the streets homeless.
Biden and his press secretary said that prices are going down. Is that your experience or is that not true?
No, that is definitely not true. Prices are definitely going up.
Minority communities, we're not seeing the improvement.
It's just a complete mess. It's a disaster.
Do you think that somebody else besides Biden should be president?
Yes,
next time?
Of course. Bring back Trump.
Tell me why.
We had money. We had money when Trump was president.
Free my son Trump. Free my son Trump. Trump 2024, everybody. Trump 2024.
That's crazy. And we're here in the Bronx.
I'm gonna vote for Trump if he runs because I feel like it was much better when he was here financially for everybody. Not just me, for everybody.
I'm definitely voting for Donald Trump. He made sure we had money in our pockets. He was for the people. He made sure we had what we needed. I feel like everything will go back to how it was. I mean, ever since he's been out of office, everything's declined.
When Trump was president, my life was good. Economical wise, I was doing so much better.
They're saying it's going to be Biden Trump, so who will you vote for?
Oh, I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna have to go for Trump. Sorry.
I'm gonna go for Trump. Always Trump.
Here, let me see. Who are you voting for?
Trump.
Feeling the pain of price hikes is one thing, but the show of open support for former President Donald J. Trump on the streets of the Bronx was very surprising.
So how are you going to win a lot of these people that are within this diner?
Well, I think last night showed I'm the only guy running that's got a record of winning and winning big for conservatives. Yes, winning elections big. We need to win. We haven't won a lot of elections, but then delivering on all these promises. I delivered on 100% of my promises.
The message is Donald Trump didn't deliver.
Well, look, he had 4 years, obviously. We don't have a border wall. We don't have a drained swamp. Hillary, he let her off the hook. And then we had a massive explosion of the debt. That's just the reality. I don't know how it would be better as a lame duck president, even if he could get elected. I have an ability to go in there, win a strong victory, serve 2 terms, and deliver on all these things. You got to win these big fights. That's what I've proven to do. And then you got to lead with a vision that's going to bring people together. Most people want another alternative.
All right, I'm going to do a show of hands because you just heard from Ron DeSantis. Who thinks DeSantis is going to be the nominee for the Republican Party? Raise your hands. Who thinks Nikki Haley is going to be the nominee? Who thinks Vivek Ramaswamy is going to be the nominee? Who thinks Donald Trump is going to be the nominee? Okay, that's why we go to these diners, because you get the pulse of the country.
Did I not tell you that it would get so bad that even the Democrats will vote for Donald Trump? We just took you to the streets of the Bronx. Do you know the predominant race in the Bronx? It's not the blacks or the whites. It is the Hispanic. And then all the black people are voting for Trump. The Hispanics are for Trump. No one has expected this. No one saw this coming. But one of the young black ladies said something. She said, ever since Biden has been in office, everything has declined. World wars are almost about to break out. Listen, you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you cannot fool all of the people all of the time. We are in a moment now where the Trump train is going to roll faster down the tracks than it's ever rolled before. And it's going to roll right in to Pennsylvania Avenue. It's coming. Speaking of presidential elections, Nikki Haley not only received the backing of the Rhino Koch brothers, the Koch money, but today a major Democratic donor, yes, Democrats, gave her $250,000. Baby, when the Democrats are supporting your campaign, It says everything that I need to know. Chris Christie will not be on the ballot in Maine. He did not get enough signatures. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm so sorry. He didn't get enough signatures to get on the ballot there in Maine. Also, Jean-Pierre, you know, curly head, from the White House, was in the hot seat. Yes, she was, because there is new evidence that has come out that showed that Biden was given monthly payments from the Hunter Biden business, the money from China, Burisma, and all these places. Joe Biden was on payroll. This has been discovered and proven he was on payroll. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think I have a copy. Yeah, there it is right there of the payroll where Biden was not only getting money here and there, he was on weekly payroll. And there is the evidence of his weekly paychecks from Hunter Biden. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. The web we weave when we plan to deceive. Hey, I want to invite you to our Hanukkah banquet in Waveland, Mississippi on December the 15th. We would love for you to come and be with us. It's going to be a beautiful evening at North Beach Restaurant in downtown Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, December the 15th. It is $20 per adult. Children are free, and that gets you a wonderful meal. It's going to be a beautiful evening. Dress in blue or silver or white, and we would love to have you with us. I want to quickly talk about two more things that we need to discuss. Number one, there is news breaking, and I'm going to see if I can pull that article up for you right now. And by the way, I wanted to talk to you also tonight about a Supreme Court case that's being heard today in the Supreme Court about a certain subject called income taxes. I really wish I had time tonight to teach on that. I plan to really go there next week with you guys, okay? But in the meantime, let me see if I can get this story for you because it's pretty important. It is pretty important. What did I do with it? Where did it go? Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Oh, I don't have it. Okay. Nevertheless, a lieutenant. Wait a minute. I do have it. Here it is. Let's go. All right. Got it. I told y'all I'm just freestyling tonight. A ex-Capitol police officer, a lieutenant, has promised to release information on the January 6th cover-up. Former U.S. Capitol Police Lieutenant Tariq Johnson has revealed his plans to release information about a cover-up. And then he goes on, he has 1,200 people have been charged in that siege. Here's what he wrote on X. I spoke to my lawyer and I told him what my plans are as it relates to releasing information on X about the J6 setup and the cover-up. Did you hear that? Setup and cover-up that ensued after. He said, please know that I'm fighting for everyone that was aggrieved from the events of J6 and unity in our country. I am a lion and I will protect my cubs. In this case, they are everyone in the J6 community as you were set up, and that should not have happened to you, even if you did wrong things that day. This is going to be huge. This is going to prove even more because remember, the captain has already said it. Now there's another whistleblower coming forth to say what you and I have been saying from day one. We win in the end, Patriots. Never forget it. The truth gumbo, you already see the lid shaking, right? It's got to explode eventually, and it will. Finally, before I go tonight, and I do again apologize that I don't have a really great show for you tonight, but I'm trying to give you as much as I can without having prepared. One thing I want to talk about is something that's really bothering me about our nation and about our government. And before I talk about that, let me say this. I don't like Santos or dislike the man. I don't like him or dislike him. I know he's an openly gay man. Of course, that's no reason for me to dislike him. That's his personal life. Although it is an abomination unto the Almighty Yahweh, and he will give an account for it at the judgment and be punished for it. But anyway, be that as it may. I don't like him, and indeed, he seems to be a man of questionable character. But I'm very concerned about this man who was duly elected by the people being removed from that elected position by his own people. And here's my problem. The man has never been to court. The man, in the eyes of jurisprudence, in the eyes of the Constitution, is an innocent man. And for his colleagues, it wasn't the Democrats that did this. It was the rhinos, the Republicans. And the stupid thing about it is this man voted with us, the Freedom Caucus, 98% of the time. He was a shoe-in vote that we could depend on. And all of a sudden now we've lessened our majority by one. Something is, I don't like the man. I don't dislike the man. But here's what I do like. That great American principle of innocent until proven guilty, due process in a court of law. He's not even had a court of Congress. In other words, there was a committee that released a report that George Santos was never even allowed to answer to. Now, he may be guilty of all of it. I don't know, and I don't care, because he is still innocent. We are letting go of that principle much too easily in our nation, and it's going to lead to it is leading to a very bad place. And no one is speaking up about that principle, innocent until proven guilty. And so there went, by the way, if you want to know what I believe is happening, the reason Santos is gone, because when he left, there went the Biden impeachment. Because Santos was a sure vote for the Biden impeachment. So you're one less vote in getting there, which in this day and hour is everything. So really, why was Santos got rid of? You think they really care about some little petty criminal stuff he might have done when they're all filthy up there in the swamp? No. They did away with the Biden impeachment. Now, Mike Johnson says that there's going to be a vote next week now for the impeachment. So when they have the vote, we don't have Santos now. So we may not even get it passed. Professor Toto pulling that curtain back tonight, right? Now, here's my question to all of you. Would one Democrat, would maybe Joe Manchin, maybe, but would one Democrat vote to expel AOC from the White House? You know, the woman that's living in bigamy, right? The woman that has very questionable finance things going on herself. She's a millionaire when she only makes $170,000 a year. Nobody knows how. But do you think one Democrat would vote to expel AOC from the Congress? But Santos, 105 people voted to remove him with no due process. What's really going on? Ladies and gentlemen, have no fear. The end is near. Justice is coming. Lady Justice will ride again. This charade that we have lived under these 3 years will be exposed. The truth will come out, and we will be the last one standing in the battle of truth. Have no doubt about it. Know it. Look to the lighthouse of truth in the stormy seas of seduction and sedition and the sophistry of Satan. Look to the lighthouse of truth. And if you will do that, you will be standing in the end victorious at that inauguration. On January the 20th, you will be standing there knowing that you was always standing on the truth, and it is the truth that has made you free. Thank you for joining me tonight. My apologies for my show, but I hope at least it was a blessing to you somehow tonight. Until I see you again next Tuesday night, may God bless you and these beloved United States of America. Good night, Toto's Army.